On this episode of Restoring-Ostuni, the budget woes continue, but there seems to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And why is it that IKEA is going to save the day and turn my frown upside down? Have you ever dreamt of turning your back on corporate America so you can move your family to Italy and then restore a centuries-old stone house in a dazzling medieval city? Well, I turned that dream into reality. My name is Jody, and this is Restoring-Ostuni. Andiamo. Well, it's been a couple of really busy weeks here, mostly because we had a historic snowstorm here in the south, which of course kicked off right as I was trying to get to the Westminster Dog Show with my dog, and we instead spent 9 hours at the airport watching flight after flight get canceled. I swear, people should pay me to book a flight just so that it won't happen if they don't want to go somewhere. But anyway, let's get on to what you really care about. So we're back to the budget. And, the thing is that in the last couple of weeks, there hasn't been a lot of traction, but I've had to make some tough choices. And basically, the budget has been cut to what we need, and I took on a few items myself. And I'm going to say this, and this is the truth. Make sure you love the house you buy, because even with a family full of contractors, even though I've spent the last few years renovating the house that we live in now, nothing, and I mean nothing, will get you ready for trying to make a renovation while you live 5,000 miles away. It's way tougher than I ever thought it would be. And I have to say, this has been the most frustrating and exasperating project I've ever worked on. And I worked on and survived the countrywide Bank of America merger. And if you know, you know. That was a good one. Anyway, I always knew there was going to be phases on this work and that my champagne tastes are on a happy hour budget. Currently, we are basically making 2 house payments because I used a HELOC to buy the house to do renovations. Yet, at the end of this, I will own our house free and clear, and we will be completely debt-free. But until then, yeah, I'm making 2 payments, and every month that there's no traction, I am in fact feeling like I'm drowning in debt. And it freaks me out, and it puts pressure on me to get this going, because until we can move and sell our current house, we're just draining money. And I know I sound like one of those HGTV flip shows, but it's real and stressful because this is my dream, but it's our money. So one of the things I'm working on is to get permission to live in Italy while renovating. I am hoping to get this done around April. If people don't know, the process to getting a visa to Italy is cumbersome, long, detailed, and full of red tape. So I have been working with my citizenship attorney on this, and while my case is meandering through the process, we think that we can get it approved for me to live there during the renovation, which will help greatly. And even though it will add some costs because I will have to rent a place to live, in the end, I think things will be done faster because it really is hard. I would say the communication is hard, and it's not anything to do with language. It's literally timing. Being 6 hours off, we are constantly sending emails to each other when the other person isn't active. And so it literally will take 2 days to get a decision done that if we were in the same time zone or I was in the same town, it would take maybe like 15 minutes. Oh, by the way, yes, along with everything else, I have a cold, so I will probably be coughing in here too. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So I am truly hoping that I can get to move there. And the other thing is that the logistics of getting over to Ostuni is tough. I mean, right now it's off season, so there isn't even any Charlotte to Rome direct. So I always have to take a flight that's going from somewhere, usually either to JFK or Atlanta or Philly, and then over. And then I get to Rome and I have to take either a train or a plane to Bari, and then from Bari to Ostuni. So again, it takes me about 3 days of my trip just in travel. And I also am seeing that even though I get in, I take a night flight, by the time I get in, by the time I take a train, it's usually really too late to go try to figure out how to get to an Airbnb. So I'm also spending money having to stay in Bari a night. So all of those logistics are really tough. So I'm really, really hoping that I can get this fixed up and that I can then just move directly to Bari and be right there. I mean, I may live in Bari. I shouldn't say that. In Ostuni. So I don't know. We'll see where I can find a place to live. Hopefully we can find something in Ostuni. If not, I could rent something in Bari. I just feel like I need to be there, and I think things are going to be a lot faster. And again, all these trips also cost me money. So yes, I've been hoarding miles like crazy to pay for my trip, but there's still Airbnb, there's still food, there's always I never make my planes never get on time, so I have to buy an expensive that same day ticket either on the train or on the plane. So there's a lot of costs that go in there. So even though it's free airline miles, it's not really that free. So some of the decisions that we've made is the contractor and the geometra are going to focus on making the house habitable. And that means like the electric, the plumbing, the sewer, the roof, the gutters, the railings, all of that stuff. They're also tackling the bathrooms. So they're going to focus on that. And I'm taking a couple of things on, basically the kitchen and the laundry room I'm going to take. And so I really, truly am hoping that the permits, we're going to be able to get the permit started. I really want to get the roof fixed, especially because there is a leak there, and that we can get that stuff moving. So along with that, I had to make a decision on the kitchen. The kitchen was driving me crazy because, yes, it's a trapezoid, which is kind of weird. And what the contractor was talking about doing just wasn't my cup of tea. But I also know that I'm kind of still on a strict budget, especially until we sell our other house. And so I had to really make some decisions on how we were going to do this, because I know what I want for my kitchen, but not living there and not being there, it's just so hard. And the kitchen is the heart of a home. It's the heart of an Italian home. It's the heart of my home. And I'm not going to move there and not have the kitchen, maybe not of my dreams in the beginning, but how about a kitchen that makes me smile? My current kitchen is kind of like that. It was never my dream. We bought the house location. We've done as well as we can on the kitchen. It's not great, but I've made it habitable. And so I'm okay with that. So I have to do something. And so this is where, as I said, I made a decision and my frown has turned upside down. And that's where a little company called IKEA comes from. So I'm going to say this. I'm not an influencer, nor do I play one on TV. I don't have a brand deal or anything like that. In fact, until this weekend, I'd never stepped foot in an IKEA store. And it's not because I'm bougie or I think I'm better than, IKEA. It's just that, honestly, it's really far away. When you live in Charlotte, and anybody that lives in Charlotte that's watching this, if you live north of Charlotte, which I do up in Davidson, you never go south of uptown. You just don't. It's the same with the people in the south. Like, I'll talk to people like, oh, I have a friend, they live in Matthews. Maybe you know them. And I'm like, you might as well say they live in Albuquerque. I mean, the north people stay north, the south, it's like uptown is like our little Mason-Dixon. So I never have gone to IKEA because it's sort of, I guess, it's kind of southwest or east. I don't know. Anyway, it's over on the side and I've never gone. So I decided that I was going to go to IKEA and I was going to look. Now, I had been on the Italian website, but I felt like before I went to the Italian store, I probably needed to go to the American store. Even though I knew this stuff was different, it would at least give me an idea. So I drugged my husband, who was very nice. He came with me and we went to the IKEA. And I have to tell you, it was actually kind of fun. It sort of reminded me, if you've never been to one, like the Vatican Museum. So when we went to the Vatican Museum and I kept waiting to get to the Sistine Chapel, like you would just go and the sign would say Sistine Chapel and you'd keep going and you're meandering and you're looking at things and all that. And that's kind of what IKEA was. It's like they have like this little pathway and you go up and you get to see things whether you want to or not, because to get to the kitchens you have to go through all these things. And I thought it was actually kind of fun. It was actually more fun than the Sistine Chapel, because by the time I got to the Sistine Chapel, I was exhausted. I was sick of crowds, and I just wanted to go. Because we get in the Sistine Chapel, and there's like 10 billion people in there. I kind of look up, I'm like, yeah, here we are. And I left. So I will say IKEA was better than that. So we had a good time walking around. But anyway, we went to IKEA, and I really wanted to see how they did things, what it was going to be like, and, kind of get some ideas. And I'm going to say this. I think that is IKEA perfect? No. But the thing is that I can work with IKEA and I can design a functioning kitchen the way I want. It's not going to be super cheap, but it also is going to be pretty affordable. And if later on I want to upgrade and do all the custom cabinetry and stuff, I can. And that's the good thing about Italy, is that they're used to everything coming and going, especially in the kitchen. So I'm really thinking that at first I was thinking, well, this would be temporary, but actually after seeing the stuff, I kind of liked it. The other thing that's really cool about IKEA, and again, I'm not getting a brand deal, but IKEA, if you want to throw some free stuff at me, I wouldn't mind. The cost for installation in Italy is amazingly cheap. So I was talking to people in the US, and they said just to put one cabinet in, IKEA charges $450. And they were absolutely astounded that I can do my entire kitchen installation for under €1,000. And as you've seen with me having issues with things coming to my house and it actually going in, and actually getting delivered and then finding my street and all that, this makes me happy because I can't imagine delivering all of this stuff, assuming it got there, and trying to get my construction crew to be putting it in. This way, I can go to IKEA, we can hopefully design it, and there's probably like 15,000 people laughing at me now going, it won't go this easy. But just give me my dream for right now. I can go there, we can design it, we can, buy everything, and then I can have it installed. And the price is pretty, is reasonable. And right now, I need reasonable. I will say that the U.S. kitchen people were so fun to hang out with. First of all, because, I was looking at stuff different than they were. Also, I showed them the cabinets that I'm looking at, and they had a version of that cabinet in a different color before, and they told me how great it was and stuff. So that was actually kind of fun. Talked to one of the guys that worked. There was one of the managers, and he had actually been to Rome on his honeymoon, and he went and checked out the IKEA stores there. So it was fun talking to them and getting some ideas from them, and looking at a lot of the stuff that was the same. And I was actually excited. By the time I got done there, I was like, okay, this is actually gonna work out way better than I thought. And again, my kitchen is a trapezoid. My walls, I have one straight wall, and the other walls, there's an angle in it, and so I'm going to have people in theory helping me design around that. So very excited about that, and it just took a load off my chest. So is it perfect situation? No, but it will free up money. And then I can go, and I think I can afford really nice counters. I haven't decided if I'm going to go with like a walnut or olive like butcher block, or if I'm going to go with stone. But I should have enough budget for them. And, I also should be able to still have all my bougie appliances. Because again, we're moving here, but you're there. Kitchen is so important to Italians, and I am Italian, and that whole family connection. And this kitchen, I just think, is going to be absolutely fabulous. One of the things that I can't do, which is another reason I wanted to go there, is I can't put upper cabinets. I will have 0 upper cabinets because of that really pretty, I call it the carriage effect, of the plaster. There's no way to put up upper cabinets as they are, because they would look offset. There's just no way to do it. So that's the other thing that's weird. We have an odd shape, and I can't put uppers. And so how do I get all the storage and stuff that I want here? And basically, it's like an 11 by 13 kitchen. And by U.S. standards, that's pretty small. You're used to having, excuse me, double the size of the kitchen. So anyway, I'm really, really excited about it. And the other thing I realized that I was super, super excited was that those upper cabinets, I can actually put in my laundry room. So I'm going to use the upper cabinets in my laundry room because it doesn't have the curves. It's just a straight wall. So I can put some of those and use the same colors in there. So I'm really excited about that because the cabinets then will kind of match the kitchen. And so there's going to be a tie-in there. And again, the price is right. The price is going to fit. And so I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I actually feel like there's like a little bit of hope here now. I've been just so down, and I've been so frustrated with everything. And right now I feel like I'm taking back my control. I really like the color. I like a lot of the things I can have. I'm going to be able to have a pantry, which is exciting because, again, Italy doesn't have a lot of pantry. I actually think I'm going to have more drawers than I currently do now. So super excited about that. And when I'm waiting to hear back, I sent an email to IKEA because I want to get someone to come measure, trying to get that scheduled. So the hope is that in the beginning, and I know this is not going to happen. Let's all understand, we know this isn't going to happen, but I need to get the measurement done when I'm there at the end of the month. That's the most important. The buying of everything I can do, via phone or Zoom call. I'm not really worried about that, but I got to get them there. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. I'm also waiting to hear from Pietro because we have pretty much finalized the budget. I'm feeling really good about that. I've got it down to a price, and the thing is that later on we can fix some of that. So hopefully we're on the upturn. So I don't know if you can hear the smile, but there's a smile on my face. There's hope at the end of the tunnel, and I can't believe it. Thanks, IKEA. I think you are going to save my sanity. So, andiamo. Well, that's it for this episode of Restoring-Ostuni. Thanks for joining me on this wild pulley adventure. The dust, the discoveries, and everything in between. If you're loving the journey, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend dreaming of their own Italian escape. Until next time, arrivederci.